Assalamu alaikum waramatulihi wabarakatu. Buenido. Guys, no, this is not for me. It's a gift for somebody. I don't want to say who, but yeah. It is day 24, guys. I am literally walking into the train. It just got here. Yes, inshallah, today we're gonna finish part 3 of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu life. And I just got out of work. It is 4:20. I'm probably not gonna make it in time to pray us in on time, but inshallah, we're gonna see. Because sometimes the D train zooming. But yeah, so I'm gonna see you guys when I get home. I have to jump into the hotel because my sister is not home at the moment, and I don't really want my mom to be in the kitchen. So yeah, but she probably is gonna be. No, actually, probably by the time I get there, the water's gonna be like on the fire because my sister already did the hondebos. So I'm gonna see y'all in a few. And I'm not tired today, so it's happening. Part 3, inshallah, is happening. But yeah, I feel good. Day 24 got me feeling like a G or whatever. We only have 6 days left, guys. 6. But yeah, I'm gonna see y'all when I get home. Got some crab here. And here, my cousin or aunt made this. I don't remember, but she bought it. It's too hot. Well, the sauce is too hot. The food could be hotter, but how much y'all want to bet I could finish this? And then look. Literally the last piece of the food, and the rest is just sauce. All of this is just sauce. But at least I finished majority of the sauce. See my last piece of food. Oh my god. This means I wish I could have full food. I just have to show you. Okay guys, let's jump in. I got the lappy top right here. I have some notes here. I started writing it, but like I wanted to cut it in half, so I did a little bit of a recap, and then we're just gonna continue from the laptop. All still from the same website. This website done came with clutch. So boom, let's recap. So where we left off, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, he was claiming oneness with God in the Kaaba, and the Quraysh was not jacking it, right? So that means his protection is gone from the Quraysh, like, because they thought he was crazy and he's a different person now, and you know, whatever. So the Quraysh, I feel like I'd be saying that wrong, but I don't care because F them. The Quraysh you know, retaliated violently. So now let's go to the first and the second hijras to Abyssinia. Guys, please excuse my pronunciation. I know it's trash. But hijra means migration, so just keep that in mind. So the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, he's now seeking new protection, right? So he, the first migration, he has 15 people with him, and they go to this Christian king, a Christian Bajan king. I don't know how to pronounce that. So yeah, and then the second hijrah migration was with 100 people, and the reason why it numbers fake tripled, quadrupled, whatever you want to call it, is because those who were left behind, they had a more intensified persecution. So like, you know, if you were poor and you were needy and you didn't have a clan to really protect you, they was coming for you. They did not care. So the Quraysh, right, they're now Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, they were the king, they're trying to get that protection. So the Quraysh, they wanna, you know, want to fight that. I was gonna say rebuke, I don't know why. They want to fight that, so they sent ibn al-As and Amra ibn Rabia to Negus, right? And they want to deport the migrants back to Mecca so they could kill them. So Jafar, which is Ali, remember Ali, 10-year-old Ali, his older brother, gave a speech defending Islam and talking about the morals and the works behind it and why, you know, why they do what they do. They just want to believe in one God and worship him. That's all. You know, why is that such an issue? So the king, the Christian king, he like, yeah, I don't know why they bugging, so you know, I'm gonna hold it down for y'all. So he didn't send them back, he didn't deport them, and in fact he actually secretly converted to Islam. So now we're gonna move to the sixth year of prophethood. So this is 6 years in of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam being a prophet. Now he's trying to keep under the shadows, you know, he's trying to keep quiet, he's trying to, you know, just focus on his people, get them away from the bad habits of believing in the idols. And so the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to Masjid al-Haram. So Abu Bakr, right, he started a lecture, and the Quraysh, they didn't want him to give that lecture, so they stopped him violently. So this made Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam go to a house called Al-Akram, which is now in present day an extension to Masjid al-Haram, and he took refuge there. But because of the respect that the Quraysh had for Abu Talib, remember Abu Talib is the father figure that stepped up after his grandfather. Because of the respect they have for Abu Talib, they was like, all right, we're not gonna kill you, right? So let's try to bargain with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they're like, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, do you want to get married? You want a big family, you know? You want the fairest maiden of all the land, you know? You want silver, you want gold. You could get whatever you want if you just stop believing in Islam, you know, and go back to believing in idols or whatever the case is. So, and take back all that you said about our forefathers and them worshiping the deities and calling them fools and stuff. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam goes, it's from the Quran, but if they turn away, they say, one have warned you of a thunderbolt like the thunderbolt of the Ad and the Thamud. So clearly he wasn't jacking it, because he just literally used a quote from the Quran, right? So now they're like, all right, let's go talk to Abu Talib, right? So they trying to persuade Abu Talib, like, hey, you want to trade sons? Like, I take Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you take my son, and we switch so I could kill the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you could just have my son. Like, does that not sound absurd, bro? Abu Talib goes to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he quotes, "Oh son, do not put such a burden on my shoulders which I am unable to bear." And the Prophet is like, "Oh uncle, if they place the sun on my right hand and the moon on my left to persuade me to renounce my work. Verily, I would not desist therefrom till God makes manifest his cause, or I perish in the attempt. So Abu Talib was so moved by this quote. He was like, yeah, you know what? Nobody is touching you, harming you, as long as I stay alive in this world. You will be under my protection. He was so moved by it. Alhamdulillah. So once he hears this response from Muhammad, he goes back to the people. He's like, what a worse bargain have you proposed? Why you want me to give you my son so that you may kill him, and are giving me your son so that I should feed him and look after him? Go away. This bargain is nothing if not foolishness. Period. So now, from years of prophethood, from 7 through 10, so like 3 years after year 6, since we just talked about that, these believers have been suffering. These followers have been suffering with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, suffering so much that there was this point in time where they would not come out at all. Only the months Rajab and Dhul Hijjah. So remember those, we have a Islamic calendar. So these are months a part of the Islamic calendars. So only for those 2 months were they ever coming outside. So only twice a year they dare come out. And this is because the violence was crazy. Like, it was literally insane. It was at an all-time high. Any food that anybody tried to give them, if they found it out, they would publicly shame them, call them out, and just like insult them because of that. And the Quraysh, their pleasure was hearing the cries of hungry children. The Quraysh is evil at that. Oh my God. The only worry that Abu Talib had was, how do we keep Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam out of harm's way? So anytime everybody's asleep for a majority of the time, Abu Talib will wake up Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they would move him personally to a different spot to sleep, because if anybody, the enemy, seen where Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sleeping at, they would probably try to kill him. So they will move him, and they will replace him with another brother that was a part of the group. So they would literally put themselves at risk just for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah. So one day, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says to Abu Talib, I have been informed by Allah that the agreement of the Quraysh has been eaten up by insects, and no writing has been left therein except the name of Allah. So, Abu Talib never had any doubts when it comes to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he goes to Masjid al-Haram, where the Quraysh were gathering at. They see Abu Talib, and they're like, oh, Abu Talib is coming up. I see him. Maybe he's coming to tell us that he's given up. He's going to surrender Muhammad, and he's going to surrender Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we finally get to win this. But Abu Talib wasn't going for that. He was going there to challenge him. He's saying, yo, my son said that your agreement has been eaten up by insects, and if it's not true, then we will admit, you guys were right and we are wrong. And he's like, well, go look at the paper, and there's nothing there but the name of Allah. So boom, they take out the agreement and they open it, and there was nothing left except for the name of Allah. Alhamdulillah. The more victory for Islam, they won. So boom. Oh my God. So because of all this suffering that they went through for 3 years, guys, Abu Talib passes, bro. And then guess what? Khadija, his wife, also passes, bro. And then this gives the Meccans a free hand, and they said, oh, we about to double it with the persecution. Now they're going back to being crazy. So now Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's just in his bag. Like, it's not giving. Oh my God. They call this year Amul Huzn, the year of sorrow. Subhanallah. So yeah, Abu Talib died at the age of 85 in the middle of the month Shawwal or Dhul Qa'dah. One thing about Abdul Talib, like, you couldn't really, like, when it came to the Quraysh, he never really said if he was Muslim or not. But when it came to Muhammad, it was always, yeah, Muhammad said the truth. You know what I'm saying? And on his deathbed, they were asking him, like, what's your religion, you know? To the Quraysh was asking him. And he was responding in a way that they wouldn't understand. So he said, on the religion of my forefathers. So his forefathers, you know, Abdul Muttalib, they were followers of the divine religion, right? So then in the last moments, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam advised him to say the kalima loudly. So like, that's basically like, you know, when you're dying, and they tell you as a Muslim, if you're about to die, say la ilaha illallah, because that's your way into Jannah, aka heaven. So that's basically what he was trying to get Abu Talib to say, and he did end up saying it. Like, he was whispering it though, like, but he did have a witness to hear him say that. Khadija passed when she was 65 years old, and she was buried at Hajjun. And her grave was demolished in 1925, like those of Abdul Muttalib, Abu Talib, and others. What the heck? So after both of these deaths, the Meccans have turned their ears away from the preachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this influences the Prophet to go to a different place called Taif, Taif, just for him to basically go through the same treatment that he was going through before. People laughed at him, scoffed at him. He was driven out of the city by people pelting stones at Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this, he was there for like a month just trying to, you know, gain new followers, and it just wasn't giving. And he got to the point where it was giving breakdown, so he had to dua to Allah and tell him, like, basically about how everything was going, and, you know, if Allah's mad with him, you know, just pardon him and all of these other things. So now we're getting to a little bit of the good stuff. So slowly but surely, Islam was starting to be finally accepted, though, you know, it was very slow, not on a big scale, but there were corners and tribes that were starting to really tap into Islam and try to figure out what this truth is. The Quraysh really tried so hard to stop this religion from spreading, so they would tell people like there's this man who has been born in our city and he's an infidel and he dishonors our idols and he even talks bad about Uza and Nat, and the people got curious about who this person they were talking about, just to stumble upon the Prophet and eventually tap in more to Islam. So when the Meccans learned that Islam is starting to pick up the pace with spreading and getting new followers, like their animosity through the roof. Like, it's giving hater upon hater upon hater. Like, why do you care about a man who is just trying to preach the word that he believes in, the word of Allah? Like, why does that bother you so much? Like, if you want to believe in your idols, go believe in your idols. Why are you so focused on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You know? So they plan to try to assassinate Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yo. But yeah, guys, I think we're gonna stop right here. I don't want to make my videos too long, but if you guys don't mind, please comment and I will make it a little bit longer, inshallah. I love doing this little section. I don't know how many parts I'm gonna have, because maybe 5 parts, it just might be, because the way that it's split up, but inshallah we'll try to make it shorter. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my video. Y'all already know the dealio. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, like, comment, and share my videos. Turn on those post notifications so you can get more notifications of when I post. Check out the description box down below and follow my social medias. I just want to put up this link right here. We have a sister who is trying to make donations for Eid so families can have fun, and I feel like you guys should donate, because this is like sadaqah to jariyah. If you're like, yo, I need to spend some money and I want to spend it with a trustworthy person who's actually going to use the money, definitely donate. I'm going to put the link down in the description box so you guys can just tap. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please donate. And don't forget, there's other places that I've put in different videos where you can donate as well. They're still accepting donations. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'ma see ya when I see ya. Deuces.